Hello, everybody. Doing some post editing commentary. I do apologize because I recently had this recorded, but the audio for it, just for some weird reason, OBS decided to shit on me. So if you're not aware, 4chan goes dark as hacker breach site and leaked information. So the 4chan website has been completely hacked. Um, Today on Tuesday, so I'm doing it as fast as I can so I can get this out there, and it's kind of really interesting that this has happened, right? That of all the websites that got hacked over the years, 4chan was the one that got hacked, and I think a lot of people are responding differently. Now, I will be doing a bit of a separate audio take of my own, experience with 4chan and everything because I feel like that's right. Because I do originally come from the 4chan boards, right? That's where like the way I as a person developed. Right, and you could easily tell when I'm reading or what trying to read the article. My apology, guys. OBS wanted to shit on me. Great, why not? But yeah, so 4chan, yeah, so and a lot of the 4chan users got leaked, especially the Jennies, the mods, right? A lot of them were FBI, well, not FBI, but a lot of them were government and educational, had email. So I guess the people who were supposed to run 4chan more or less were incompetent. Hell, it doesn't surprise me given the site history and everything we know about it. That doesn't mean that would it ever come back or would it ever be the same. I'm not sure. Currently, as we speak, as I'm recording it or really editing this, you know, it may or may not come back up, or it may but the after effects will be very different, right? It will be very different to what it was because 4chan, it's known for a lot of things. It's known for the trolls, for the memes, the endless war. A lot of content creators, you can say, find their roots in 4chan one way or another. The image board, right? For the longest time, I believe 4chan was like sort of the last bastion of the internet, the Wild West. And if 4chan is completely gone, right, unless somebody buys it like Elon Musk, right, it will more or less won't be back anytime soon, right? And if let's say Elon does buy it, it may not even be the same website, right? That is a possibility. Truthfully, as I said, it is the last bastion of the internet. It is the last place where you can say something, do something, and people will give you a response, right? It was that period of time. It was essentially that golden age of the internet that we're never going to see again. And for better or worse, it is what it is. Now, as I said, I wanted to talk about my own personal history on 4chan. I originally, when it's coming to the things I enjoy, the things I like, 4chan is where I really started to develop my personality, the things I like, the humor I enjoy, right? Really, without 4chan, there really wouldn't be, I guess, essentially a schizo spot, right? That was my kind of origin. I was like probably 9, 10 years old when I first discovered 4chan, and it was just like the mid 2010s, like no, the early 2010s, like 2010, 2011, really around that period. And I really just enveloped myself, especially in like the mid 2010s when I was in like end of high school, college. I really went into a lot of the image board, especially Paul at the time. Paul was very much active. But there was always murmurings of people saying that 4chan is now full of feds or is a honeypot. And if you're not aware of what a honeypot is, it's usually like something created by the government or organization, right? To kind of entrap certain people, right? And that's what 4chan has become. Now, as I said before, do I think 4chan is completely gone? No. But from my own experience, 4chan has always been a very resilient website that never really backed down a lot of the time. I would say that over the years that it did decline, but it was a slow decline over the years. And I think that's what made it so, I guess I wouldn't say admired, but always intriguing. That a website that it was a representation of the old internet was still up and around kicking regardless of everything that has happened. And whether or not whether or not it will ever come back, I would say that, you know, we'll have to really wait and see. But with that being said, everybody, till next time, have a good one, be safe, and God bless.